Men, how does it feel to be desired by your partner after a physique glow up? Physique has never seemed to be all that important to her. I got into really good shape for a while. She seemed kindled into it. I remodeled both of our bathrooms. She sucked my dick like she was starving to death. Yes, we appreciated I had put on a dad bod, decided to get rid of it, cut, and got abs. Watching my wife's eyes light up. My wife does not say a word and I'm in fantastic shape. A woman hits on me at the gym, but nothing from my wife. If I ask, she'll say something, but who wants to have to ask? My ex never showed appreciation or extra desire, and would always complain while I was working out at my home gym. If I asked her for a spot, she would be completely unenthusiastic and complain that I was wasting her time. She was gorgeous as fuck and also abusive as fuck. I'm glad she lost me. Now I'm 4 months single without anyone to appreciate my work but myself. Life is funny sometimes. Times. What is something that you think shouldn't exist? Package thieves, child beauty pageant, medical debt, child porn, cancer, career politicians, school lunch debt. Seriously, what the fuck, America? Greed, misinformation through social media, which captures 78.9 of the consciousness of adults and consumes 94.2 of the minchar of their attention span. I am 98 certain of this. A two-party system in a democracy. Wars, pedophiles, mosquitoes, tapeworms, having to pay for snacks and carry-on bags on your at you frontier. Poverty, cockroaches, fuck those dumbuses, flat-faced dogs, anything related to sexual misconduct, rape, pedophiles, etc. Billionaires and influencers, cults, the danger of destroying the planet with nuclear bombs, cartels, mafia, violent gangs. How do I get over my fear of being too wet for a guy to give me head? For one, I get so wet and I'm worried once he tries to finger me or eat me out, he'll see that I'm already really wet and get grossed out or won't want to lick me. And by wet I mean I'm soaking through my panties is the biggest. Turn him on his back. Sit on his face with those soaking wet panties on and make the motherfucker evolve gills or die. What's wrong with being too wet? I would find that as a turn in, like I'm effective in making the person I'm with excited. No worries, really. For most men, if not all, that's not an issue. It's actually the opposite of it. The more wet you are, the more excited he'll be. Just relax and enjoy. Started seeing a new woman recently and the same happens to her. She gets extremely wet when we fool around. It's not something I've experienced before. It's definitely a huge turn on knowing she gets so wet for me. That's normal. The problem would be if you were dry. The concept that gave corporations rights similar to people is destroying our world. The real problem is a lack of prison sentences for corporations. They have the same rights as people, but when a person kills another person, they go to prison, but corporations only pay a fine. Or letting corporations buy houses and letting corporations hide behind their personage to get away with accountability and allowing any semblance of direct advocacy to lawmakers. As to the us side of things, voters just aren't as capable as their ancestors who made much of this campaign finance bribery illegal. They buy into parties leading them around, but will not drive any rational policies themselves, according to Congress staffs. Then they whine it is too hard and must have been so much easier in checks notes the March 31st, 2024. A Hun. Right. Doomed we all are. Yes. Corporations have all of the benefits of personhood, but none of the burdens. What concept gives corporations rights similar to people? What are the weirdest society taboo you have heard? Here in India, it's completely ok to have a huge argument with your spouse in public, but the smallest bit of affection is frowned upon. Circumcisions. Showing people the bottom of your feet or shoes is a hugely disrespectful thing in Thailand. Be careful how you help you if for some reason you point at a statue of the Buddha with your feet. Saying bad words, like saying fuck, is a thing that the children can't possibly hear or they'll turn into Satanist cannibals. In some cultures, virginity in unmarried women is seen as a measurement of worthiness. If you are not a virgin, you are seen as impure. To indicate that you are full and satisfied, it's recommended to leave some food on the plate in certain countries. Not sure where, maybe Vietnam, but giving a thumbs up is considered rude. Alcohol is so normalized, but drugs are not. It's so wordy, say this as an alcohol-loving Belgian. Beer is half of our culture and I'm proud of it too, but like. Which nuclear-armed country do you think has the least chance of surviving an all-out nuclear war? North Korea only remains existing because of the control the government has over the country. A swift nuking to Pyongyang and that power structure crumbles. But to be honest, I think most nuclear-armed nations will crumble after nuclear warfare. There will be such mass panic amongst the survivors and such widespread destruction, it will be near impossible to maintain order. No one wins. No nuclear country will survive, and the rest will struggle very hard. Realistically, none of them, but I wonder if the up being an island works for them or against them. Israel, because it's the smallest of all nuclear-armed countries, so it will be difficult to survive the radiation. North Korea and Pakistan, because their system is a basket case already, so any major disruption will lead to total chaos. North Korea doesn't stand a chance. According to you, what was the worst thing that happened to humanity? In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. In America, allowing healthcare to become for profit and publicly traded. War. Any war. Rupert Murdoch. The Treaty of Versailles 1919 not only highlighted the pettiness and self-indulgence of the Western nation-states, but every crime and horror of World War I can be traced back to it. Dollar menu at McDonald's now being the $2 menu. Being sold fake stories. Social media. Natural disasters, terrorist attacks, genocides, world wars, colonization, and slavery. Think these are some of the worst. Corporate greed. What is one ugly truth you learned as you got older? Just because you are friendly, nice, kind, and respectful to people you meet does not mean they will be the same to you. Bad people will win. A lot. In some cases you can give people exactly what they say they want, and it still isn't good enough. Nothing fucks you harder than time. A large number of people just plain suck. Humans are not rational beings. We are irrational beings that are occasionally capable of rational thought. People can and do just stop liking you. Relationships, friendships, everyone. If you have kind of a sensitive ego and get attached to people like younger me, this hits you hard. Some people are really a waste of time and good intention. Don't even approach them. Things get harder and no one is coming to save you. I'm pretty replaceable. The dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubed. What are some problems that are for women by women? That whole thing about not wearing dresses multiple times to fancy events, or two of them wearing the same dress. Like having to get a new bridesmaid dress for every friend's wedding. Spending exorbitant amounts of money on high-end makeup trends, fake fingernails and lashes. I can fix him syndrome. Some women willingly throw themselves at men with more red flags than a Chinese military parade, then turn around and blame men as a whole when it fails or they get pumped and dumped. Don't date people who you think you need to fix. Not eating or drinking, then getting headaches. Fake nails and fake eyelashes. Men are not interested in that, is all about showing off for other women. Not sure if this fits, but when I was in high school a huge amount of the bullying directed towards girls was from other girls. Not all the boys were hardly saints, but a majority. The female beauty standard is just female intellectual competition. People are impressed by the uniqueness of snowflakes, but potatoes are equally unique, and no one cares. If millions of potatoes started falling from the sky, people would be more interested in them. Humans love patterns. Snowflakes have a pattern crystal structure and yet are distinguishable. Potatoes are different lumps. Everything is one of a kind if you look close enough, but crystals are pretty and snowflakes are crystalline. People are impressed by snowflakes because they are pretty, not because they are unique. Everything in nature is unique. If unique was all that people cared about, they'd be impressed by every single thing outside pretty much. Mom, you're always trying to give me potatoes. What is it with you? I just think they're neat. So our number March 31st, 2024. And I'm sure there are patterns if you put it under a microscope. Plus, no two smell alike. There's only like 40 kinds of snowflakes, but there are over 4,000 kinds of taters. Why is there a tendency to say female or girl when talking about adult human women? I'm not American, so I don't really see it anywhere besides Reddit, but in my native language it's not common to refer to humans as male or female unless it's a medical topic or you are renewing some id. Girl I tend to use when talking about women I'm interested in. Like if I talking to my friends about someone, I'd say something like I met this girl the other day. Same way a woman might say she met a guy. Female I never use except as a descriptor. Like if I need to specify the gender of a friend, I'd say female friend, but that's pretty rare. I'm ex-military and male-female was pretty common. I didn't even realize some people took it as a bit of an insult until I got out here on Reddit. So now I make it a point to not use it. Guy-girl is also pretty common, more casual I think. Usually because using woman would feel more clunky. I want to talk to a female officer are easier than I want to talk to an officer that is a woman. For the men of Reddit, what does good pussy taste like? All of you are crazy. Good pussy has a smell and taste, which are typically unique to the woman. Real bad funk. Slightly salty, and even slightly or coppery. Not fish. Very slightly acidic, very slightly musky, and its own smell, like pussy. It shouldn't be a strong smell. Not sure why these people are saying nothing. Good pussy tastes like good pussy. There's nothing else I can compare it to, but when it's all dialed in right, there's nothing like it. The real trick is avoiding bad pussy. Had that too many times and it's awful. Woman here. Can I answer? I recently started exploring my bisexuality, and I've learned that pussy doesn't necessarily taste good, but it doesn't taste bad either. But in a way I can't quite describe, it still tastes so good. I'm sure other men know what I'm talking about. Lol. Spaghetti meatballs. Tastes a little better than a clean balloon knot.